welcome back to my channel. So as I probably mentioned in the intro, I am going to be trying out a Silisponge, and I just wanted to, I saw this at Ulta. I went to Ulta yesterday, and I saw this in the PUR section, and I was like, a Silisponge, and I know that these came out a while ago, but I haven't been able to try one yet, so I figured I would do a video on it, on how to use it and all that stuff, and see if it actually is good. So I picked up this one from PUR. This one is called the Pillow Blend, and it's super cute. It's like a pale pink color, and it's got glitters in it and stuff like that. So I figured I would just try this out on my face today, see if it works, see if it is better than a beauty blender or using a foundation brush. And yeah, and just put it to the test. So first things first, I'm going to start off by priming my face, of course. I would do this with every foundation and any application I would do. I would always prime. So I'm going to start off using my Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Smoothing Primer. And I'm just going to use this all over my face as I normally do. And I'm just going to rub this in. Alright, so now that I have primed my face, I'm also going to go in and, just like I normally do, I'm going to go in with a concealer just to cover up my blemishes, because I do that anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quickly, and then we will try out the Silisponge. So I'm just going to take what I normally take. I use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is the shade Ginger, and I'm going to dot this all over areas that I need some extra coverage. I like to do this before I do foundation. I find that it's easier for me that way, and it covers my acne spots and dark spots pretty well when I do it that way. So I'm just going to do that really quickly. Okay, now that I have finished covering up my acne spots and dark spots and all that, I am going to go ahead and get right into using the Silisponge. So this is the Silisponge from the brand PUR. I got this at Ulta, like I said, and I just saw it and I was like, man, I really want to try a Silisponge and just try it on camera for you guys and see how it works. And if it does work, it would be a good option to use instead of using a beauty blender or a makeup sponge. So on the back of this little wrapper here, it says that you just apply a small amount of makeup directly onto the blending applicator and apply to skin with a tapping motion. So we will try this out. I'm going to open it up right now, and this is what it looks like. So it's just like, you know, a thin, squishy little Silisponge. And I'm sure you guys have seen these things floating around on YouTube and, you know, all that good stuff. So yeah, I figured I would just try it out for myself. So this is the foundation I'm going to be using today. This is the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD High Definition Long Wear Illuminating Foundation. And I'm going to use this today because I know what this foundation looks like on my skin. So I'll be able to judge how it looks with the application of the Silisponge and see whether or not it looks good or if it looks different or all that good stuff. So I'm just going to take, like it says, a pump. We'll start off with one pump. Maybe a pump and a half. And I have put it on my Silisponge. It's kind of like, you know, slipping and sliding. And I will go ahead and pat this on my skin. I'm a little nervous. I've never used something like this before, so I'm just like, ooh. So I'm gonna first pat it on. Like so. And then it says to do a tapping motion. So we will tap it away, I guess. So I'm gonna tap the product, and I probably could have gone in with less foundation. I think that's one of the benefits of the Silisponge, is because it's not like a beauty blender or a makeup sponge. It doesn't soak products in. It just kind of lets product sit on the surface like so. Like if you can see here, there's still product on the Silisponge, and it doesn't soak it in. What? dropping it everywhere. It does feel like I'm smacking my face a little bit. But I noticed right off the bat that it takes longer for you to disperse the product. See, like I still have all this product on the side of my face. Oh man, I look like a mess. And I'm also noticing that it kind of just looks like it's sitting on the top of my skin, like it's not necessarily soaking in. Alright, I'm gonna go in with a beauty blender really quickly just to see if I can get some of this product soaked up a little. But first I gotta go wet it. Okay, so I have my beauty blender. I just went to go wet it, and now I'm gonna see if I can get some of this product to lift with the sponge, just to see if it'll help, because right now it just looks, I'm gonna zoom you in just a teeny bit. See, like you can tell it's on top of my face, like it's not blended. I have all this product just on my face because what I thought I needed to use with the Silisponge, I only needed like half of that because I'm so used to a beauty blender needing so much product because a lot of it can get seeped into the sponge itself. So let me see if I can just go in really quickly and see, that already looks better. Because the beauty blender, it just like, I don't know what it is about a beauty blender, or even like just like a Morphe sponge or a Real Technique sponge. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but it knows, it almost like knows how much product you need and how much needs to be taken off your face. Like, that give and take of product, it works well, I think. Like, I know it can be a little frustrating because it can take a lot of product and you can go through product faster that way, but I feel like it's a necessary thing because sometimes you may go in too heavy with foundation and then the beauty blender just soaks up what you don't need to be using. So I don't know, but like let me see. So I don't know, like this is just kind of weirding me out, I guess. Alright, so what I'll do, I'm going to give it another try. I'm going to go in with a tiny, like little, not even a half pump, because I still feel like I need some coverage on my face where I have some problem areas. So I'm going to try with a teeny bit of product and see if that will help when using the Silisponge. So where did it go? There it is. I'm literally taking like not even a half pump. Like a tiny amount. And I'm gonna put this specifically on my chin area and a little bit over here on my cheeks, just to see if that will help with the coverage. Okay. So when I did that, it worked a little better. So what I'm thinking, the trick to the Silisponge is going in with small amounts of product, maybe doing like one pump or even a half a pump and going on one side of your face first, and then doing another pump and going on the other side, and then where you need extra coverage, going in with a tiny bit of product and going over those areas. But to me, that seems like a whole lot more time than what is needed for a beauty blender. So you kind of have to weigh your options and see which one is better for you. Yeah, so it's all about your personal preference. For me right now, just with how I just use this, I would much prefer a beauty blender or even a foundation brush, just because this takes so much time. And it's not like when I started doing it, I just noticed, like, I was like, gosh, like, is this going to blend out anytime soon? And then it did blend out, and yes, it looked good. And I went over some spots where I needed it, and it still looks good to me. I mean, the coverage is pretty good. So it's up to you on what you think. But to continue using it, I'm actually going to see how it looks if I do concealer with it. I figure like maybe it would be good if I like kind of, you know, because it is so flexible, I could like get it under here to blend out concealer and see if that works. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm going to take my trusty heart-shaped tape, and I'm definitely going to go in with a lot less product, just from experience now with using the foundation. You don't need that much product when you use a Silisponge. So I'm going to take a small amount. And then I'm just going to like fold the sponge a little bit around my finger and just go in and see if this helps blend out that concealer. Alright, so one eye done. Right off the bat, I think it works pretty well. Like, it is a little hard to grasp just because when I press, it kind of flops out of my hand. But other than that, I mean, I feel like it got pretty close. I mean, it gets right up under my eye, like under my eyelashes, which is pretty good. And it didn't take any time to blend. So I'm going to go on to the other side and blend that out as well. So yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. I felt that it didn't really take that much time to do, and it was easy to get into like the nooks and crannies, I guess, of my eye and really get right under there and blend it out. So yeah, so I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup, and then I will be back to give you my final thoughts on the Silisponge. Alright guys, I am back. I finished all of my makeup and done my eyeshadow and all that good stuff. So I am going to give you my final thoughts on the Silisponge. Like I mentioned while I was doing my makeup, the Silisponge I think is a very inventive idea. However, I just don't find that it is as time friendly as a beauty blender or a foundation brush would be. It is good in the fact that it does blend the product, and it just takes more time, and you can use less product, which is also another good thing. So you're not using as much product when you're using a Silisponge. So that's good. However, do I see myself using a Silisponge every day? No, but when I have time and when I maybe want to conserve some makeup that I have or something along those lines, I would possibly bring it out. But just on a day-to-day basis, I find that if I'm going to do my makeup, I'm doing it and, you know, I want to do it fast. So using a beauty blender or a foundation brush just kind of where I'll go. But I do like this Silisponge. I don't think that there's any problems with it as far as application. That's kind of what my thoughts are on the Silisponge. It's basically up to your personal preference. Like I said, for me personally, I don't see myself using this every day. However, I would still like to give it a try from time to time. So that's kind of where I am with that. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this demo/review of the Silisponge. And if you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!